Indiana was down by 2 points, but then OKC just swarmed them niggas. They was like fucking piranhas, and they had turnover after turnover after turnover. They were down 2, then they ballooned the lead. Then OKC got the lead to 5, then it turned into 8, then it was back up to 12. But one thing about Indiana, and I was watching this throughout the whole game, is that you can't.
We here again.
15-point leads aren't safe with them.
12-point
12-point leads aren't safe with them. And when OKC wasn't getting the lead up to 20 points, I was saying that this could potentially be a close game. I think Siakam did a marvelous job. And you can't ask Siakam to do any more than he's been doing throughout these whole playoffs. I think he's been underrated, actually, the last couple of years, the way we've been seeing him play, because Indiana's in a small market. But he's been playing great. But the key factor was J-Dub. 40 points, and we talked about this on a couple shows ago, if it wasn't the last show. We were saying that, listen, we know what Shai's going to do. We know he's a walking 32, 34 points, but they're swarming, they're double teaming. Somebody's going to have to step up, whether it's J-Dub or Chet. Chet be looking frail. I don't know what they're going to do with Chet moving forward. He's decent playing the 4 and 5, but I think they really need to move him to the 3, 4, and don't put him in center and get another power forward there, because he's looking frail in certain situations. But J-Dub was playing downhill all day, running, not settling for threes, even though he hit a couple, but he's playing downhill and he's going to the basket. And that took a lot of pressure off Shai. We said that Shai needs a Scottie Pippen. Who's going to step up? Would it be Chet, J-Dub? And J-Dub did it last night. But will he do it again Thursday night to put Indiana away? Me personally, I think Indiana, if Tyrese, all depending on Tyrese Halliburton's health, that I think Indiana is going to win if he's at least 85% healthy, and we're going to go to 7 games. That's my prediction for the next game. But I thought it was a great game, and they just got swarmed at the end.
If they win this next game, then it's the setup.
Yeah, I want to also say I think Indiana is doing something that's really like elementary when it comes to basketball. They keep setting up their offense way too high. It's like it's almost at half court. And every time they kept doing this, I started wondering, like, why are they doing this? This is not the sign of a smart point guard, even though he has all of the attributes as a, just when it comes to being creative, but it's like the IQ. A lot of reasons why they keep making turnovers is because they're breaking one of the cardinal rules of being a point guard, and that's giving up your dribble. You keep your dribble if you got the ball in your hand. There's no reason to pick the ball up and let somebody pressure you if you could dribble. Just put them on your hip, and that's the first thing you learn in basketball. One of the things as a point guard is just put them on your hip and just dribble with the ball, so when somebody comes open, you can pass off the dribble. That's where they're creating all of these turnovers that they're getting in against OKC. And it's very elementary. I don't see how they keep doing it.
So also makes to Cam's point, so we saw that Halliburton obviously is playing through an injury. How do you kind of see this affecting the next game? Then do you see it going to a game 7 as well?
I always knew that it would end in 6 games. That's what I always believe. I believe this series would end in 6 games. I still believe it'll end in 6 games. I was just hoping that it end in 6 for Indiana. No, I'm sticking with 6 games. Even if it switches to OKC, it's still going to be 6 games.
Mace, your original pick was OKC. That's how crazy that you bugging. You don't even remember that your original pick was OKC.
I do, but I wanted Indiana to try to get it in 6. If they'd have won the last game, and this is where we would be at. You know what I'm saying? The last 2 games they could have won.
Yep. So you're picking who's your team? I'm confused. Who are you going with in this series? Because you picked mad different teams.
Yeah, I want Indiana to win, but OKC will win it.
Okay.
I've been consistent. That's what I had on tape. OKC will win it, but I want Indiana to win. I think it would be kind of cool, but if they're not doing the things necessary, they're not gonna win. That's common sense. Like if he's hobbled, but he's out.
OJ looking down with a grasp for the obvious, man.
Yeah.
It's like
that's what I like to stick with. If you look at somebody like Halliburton, right? Like you guys say, I just think differently. If he's out there for 34 minutes but he's hurt, he shouldn't be out there. I don't like to hear excuses if you're on the floor. If you're on the floor, you should be playing. If you can't play, get off the floor. That's understandable, but don't take up 34 minutes and then say you was hurt. If you hurt, I was taught to play through hurt.
He never said.
You don't play through injury.
The whole thing about it, and to his credit, he didn't say he was hurt. We all seen him get hurt, and he came back and played. He didn't make no excuses. He wasn't crying. And I agree with that concept. If you out there, you out there. There's no excuses. I totally agree with that 100%. But I'm just saying it isn't like we can ignore that we've seen him get hurt. I give him credit for coming back, actually.
I'm going to just put it out there so it's on the record. I know that they're playing in Indiana. I kind of see OKC winning the next game. That's kind of where my head's at. If J-Dub keeps playing the way that he's going, if Chet just puts a little bit more pressure, and if Halliburton is still hurt, that's what I'm leaning towards. But we'll see. A Game 7 would be nice, but I think that they might close it out. So we'll see what happens. Okay,
yeah,
so
hopefully they win the game because the ratings is horrible. This is, what would you say, Killer? Is this the worst rating?
It's bad.
NBA Finals ever?
It's about 20-some years that the ratings been this bad. I'm not gonna lie, you're 100% correct with that. The ratings, when I was checking a few days ago, it's been about 20-something years that for NBA Finals that the ratings been this bad. Yeah, you're absolutely right with that.
Yeah, we're over it. So whoever's gonna win, just go ahead and win it, man. We tired of if it was the Knicks, I'd be more intrigued.
That's fair. Okay, so obviously this finals has been a lot of, interesting things to see, down to the ratings, even to now where they actually aired the starting lineup introductions, which they haven't done in the finals since 2013. So, Mason, your opinion, do you think that this should be incorporated back into the finals where they show the player starting lineup introductions? And then why do you think they decided to do it for this game in particular?
Adam Silver is rolling the dice right now. He's trying to figure out what is it that I could do to get people back interested in watching this game. If you look at the
And with 1 minute left to go in the game, the score remains exactly 97-98. The point guard takes the ball.
And Rockland County Police have busted what they're calling a sex trafficking ring. 2 people are now under arrest.
Now, those arrests came after a tip to police. The suspects face a long list of charges, including promoting prostitution, unlawful imprisonment, and criminal content.
Also, child endangerment. Eyewitness News reporter Marcus Solis live in the city with the details. Marcus.
Well, David and Sandra, police say this all started after anonymous complaints to the department about a high number of individuals coming and going from the location. What made it worse, they say, is that there were children living in the house, basically confined to their rooms while the illicit sexual activity was taking place. Her court appearance lasted just 2 minutes, during which Negri Sanz del Orbe cried the entire time. The 42-year-old is charged with sex trafficking and running a prostitution ring out of this house in Nanuet. Clarkstown police conducted an undercover operation at the location on Smith Road after neighbors made anonymous complaints.
They saw this activity, which was not normal, for someone that's living in a house. And it was a lot of different individuals coming and going.
31-year-old Luis Mendez Valdez was also arrested. Police have charged him and Del Orbe with numerous counts of child endangerment. Police say multiple children were living in the house, unable to leave their rooms while the illicit activity was occurring.
They're young. They're very young kids, and the conditions were horrible, and ended up getting Child Protective Services involved in it.
Today at the house, a message warning the occupants they face eviction for not paying rent. The 2 suspects remain in custody. Police and Clarkstown officials, including the town supervisor who lives just 3 blocks away, say the arrests should send a message.
They're not victimless crimes. There's always, people that are victimized along the way. And just please, our plea is, report it. Report it to your local, authorities. If it doesn't look right, it's probably not right.
Child Protective Services continues to monitor the case. In the meantime, the two suspects are being held on $300,000 bond. We're live in New City. Marcus Solis, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Damn. They out there trafficking, boy. Look at something coochie out the house.
I think we're doing pretty well. We're talking.
Man, fuck Donald Trump.
The feds raided this house in southwest suburban Frankfurt. The owner now accused of running a huge fentanyl operation, which landed him and his girlfriend behind bars. Jermont Terry is live at federal court with how the feds traced the drug operation to 3 southwest suburban communities. Jermont.
Erica, this drug operation spans from Frankfurt to Oakland and even includes a storage unit in Alsip where drugs, weapons, and wads of cash were all found, according to the feds. Check out the arsenal of weapons federal prosecutors say they found when they arrested the couple. According to the federal complaint, 32-year-old James Howard and 31-year-old Chantel Robinson were behind a huge fentanyl and cocaine distribution. This Oakland apartment building off 95th and Ridgeland is where Robinson lived. Along the busy road across from the Chicago Ridge Mall, the apartment was being used as a drug laboratory, according to the federal complaint. The feds had suspected the pair of running the drug operation. They set up a hidden camera in this flower pot outside their third-floor unit. Prosecutors say the camera spotted Howard in this image coming out with a comforter. He placed it in the hallway, but inside the bag, 1.5 kilograms of suspected fentanyl and approximately 850 grams of suspected cocaine within the sheets.
This seems to be a case of these subjects to being very bold and careless at the same time.
This image shows Howard discovering the hidden camera. Even after Howard appeared to notice the camera at the top of the staircase and momentarily ducking out of the frame, the feds say he did not stop the illegal operation. Former FBI Director Phil Andrew points out this pair hid in plain sight. Agents raided Howard's house in Frankfurt. The nearly $800,000 new construction was paid in full despite Howard moving in April.
Clearly, the point they're making in this complaint is that is likely due to the ease of access to this drug money.
This is what prosecutors say they found inside the house, that arsenal of weapons, cash, and drugs. But the operation did not end there. It stretched to this storage facility in Alsip of 115th and Cicero. It's here where feds say additional drugs and weapons were found. Andrew points out federal and local agencies are still working jointly to win the fight against drugs.
Law enforcement, this is actually their bread and butter.
Now, Andrew points out that many criminals may believe that federal agents are focusing all of their attention on immigration, but he says this case proves that drug cases remain a top priority. As for that couple, they remain in federal custody tonight. Live outside the Ferguson Federal Building tonight, Jermont Terry, CBS News,
crazy.
Chicago.
They got caught in the shot. Ooh.
A store in the Bronx has gone viral after reselling packages from retailers like Amazon and Walmart for just $4.
Now, you want to know what's the catch? Well, you don't know what's inside. Bronx reporter Erica Lunsford spoke to shoppers and explains the process.
After seeing a viral video on TikTok, Simone Simpson and her family decided to take a chance and see what they can find at Dollar Universe on White Plains Road.
I'm looking for something good I'm feeling, because I'm seeing that I don't take any and anything. Yeah, because I guess these packages, you don't know what's in there.
That's right. She doesn't know exactly what she's going to end up buying. And as Dollar Universe manager Luis Almonte explains, that's part of the fun for many shoppers.
Yeah, sometimes they told me they found a tablet, they found a phone, they found the computer stuff.
Almonte says he buys the packages in pallets from liquidation centers for vendors in Brooklyn and New Jersey. He then sells the packages for $4 each.
They have different companies, Amazon, Walmart, they are return package.
With packages ranging in different sizes, shoppers are not only feeling what may be inside, but they're also giving things a good shake to get a good guess.
For some, the anticipation of what's inside is too strong to wait until they get home.
And girl, this is my size.
Almonte says the mystery packages have brought in a few regular customers and people from near and far, causing him to constantly refill the bins with new surprises.
But we sell plenty package, more than 500 every day.
I'm actually from Jamaica, so, you know, I'm impressed.
Almonte shared he's thankful for the increased foot traffic the viral video and mystery packages have brought to his beauty supply store. In the Bronx, Erica Lunsford, CBS News, New York.
Hey y'all, it's Lauren LaRosa from The Breakfast Club. Sorry to interrupt. Y'all know how I do. So I'm here to talk about Top Dog Law.
Something happened to R. Kelly, y'all. Let's see what happened. We need to know.
Wake that ass up early in the morning. The Breakfast Club.
Okay, so this news is actually breaking right now. Shout out to Baller Alert, who was the first outlet that we saw actually posted it. But last night, R. Kelly's team filed an emergency filing. I received the filing a little bit after midnight. So I believe that's why it's breaking right now, is because outlets are waking up. So in the emergency filing, they allege that R. Kelly was giving an additional dose of medication by prison staff. And they're alleging that because of that additional medication that he was instructed to take and that he actually took, he suffered a overdose. So they say that R. Kelly woke up allegedly on June 13th and he felt faint. He was dizzy. He started to see black spots. He got up and he fell. He crawled to the door of the cell and he lost consciousness then. At that point, he was placed on a gurney. He was taken by ambulance to a nearby hospital because they tried to take him to the hospital inside of or associated with the facility that he's in, but they couldn't help him, so they took him to an outside hospital. In that outside hospital, on the way to the outside hospital, his team alleges that it was overheard someone in the ambulance from the hospital say, this is going to open a whole new can of worms. R. Kelly's legal team then alleges that once he got to the hospital, it was then revealed that he had been giving an overdose quantity of medicine. He was in the hospital for some days, and this was within 2 days of that original filing where his legal team is alleging that prison officials are trying to take him out of here. Now, they say in addition to this incident, this overdose, right, they're also pointing to the fact that R. Kelly allegedly has been asking for months to get some medical attention to a swollen leg. R. Kelly's legal team says that once he was taken to the hospital for this overdose situation, R. Kelly brought up the swollen leg, and they allege that doctors there then took a look at the swollen leg and they found blood clots in R. Kelly's right leg, allegedly, in his left leg, and his lungs, allegedly. And R. Kelly's legal team is saying that R. Kelly was then told he should stay 7 days in that hospital for surgery, and then it would be additional 2 weeks because of whatever care they were going to need to give him. But his legal team alleges that once the prison was contacted, R. Kelly was then removed against his will by guards from the prison and was not allowed to be treated. And they are saying that basically this could kill him because of the blood clots and the care that they are alleging he is not receiving. Now, they do say that all of this can be proven. They say that the things with him getting to solitary confinement and taking that additional medicine allegedly will be on prison cameras. They say on prison cameras, you will see R. Kelly arrive to solitary confinement. When you arrive there, because he takes medicines already for anxiety and sleep and other things, you have to show your medicine to guards, which they say is on camera. And then they say you will see the additional medicine being brought to R. Kelly on camera as well. And that the stuff at the hospital with the clots and not being treated, all of those accusations, they say can also be proven via hospital records. So they filed this emergency motion trying to bring light to this, to the same court that they are saying, hey, all this other stuff is happening. We're telling you he needs to be released because it is not
But
safe.
why does R. Kelly and his team feel like the feds are trying to kill him? Because he's not coming out until what, December 21st, 2045? He received 30 years in federal prison. So why does he think they're killing him? What does R. Kelly know that makes the feds want to kill him?
So, according to R. Kelly's legal team in the first filing, and they reiterated in this one, that whole plot to uncover the fact that there were things that were done wrong when it came to, remember I talked about like the flipping of the witnesses and all these things that they're alleging happened. Basically, they're saying the government and the prison officials have been covering up the fact that they did whatever they needed to do to convict R. Kelly allegedly, and his new legal team, in trying to file for other things, discovered that and brought it in a plan to bring it to light, and they found out. So this is all a way to cover that up. That is what R. Kelly's team is alleging.
Is it just me, or wasn't there a videotape of R. Kelly having sex with an underage girl? Did we not all
they're not arguing that did not happen, right? What they're arguing is that when Azriel Clary, who was one of the major witnesses in R. Kelly's cases, and there's another woman who was also another witness in the Chicago case, that the way that they came about being those star witnesses was illegal. That's what R. Kelly's team is alleging. Like, they used an informant to flip these women who were not going to be witnesses. They used emails and phone calls from R. Kelly allegedly to another woman to then, they gave it to this informant. The informant goes to these, ex-girlfriends or whatever they were at the time of R. Kelly's, and gets them upset and makes them want to testify, and that is illegal.
But R. Kelly's team does know that they were selling them R. Kelly porn tapes like the Nintendo Switch 2, like crazy outside of clubs back in the day.
R. Kelly's
all over the place on Canal Street and like crazy. Like, we all seen the tape.
Trying to figure out why he wasn't.
It was illegal to see the tape, but mad people seen the tape.
R. Kelly's legal team knows everything we know because we all watched that case play out in public, and not public, but like we followed it, and they have still filed this, and they also point to the fact that the government called the first filing, because remember I was like, yo, this is like a movie. They're saying that this man inside is supposed to take him out, and they're like, people call this theatrics and a fantasy, but here is something that we can prove via hospital records and jail video allegedly. So so that is what's happening right now with R. Kelly, and the news is breaking literally right now. So
now, I just have one last question. What's the probability that because of all this that they will get R. Kelly out early? Because his date is December 21st, I think, 2045.
I'm not a judge. I can't answer that. But I mean, if they can prove something like this with videos and things of that nature, a judge would have to consider some sort of like safety something, because he's locked up and he's going to do his time. But like, you can't, if this is actually happening, which it's very far fetched, but if it is actually happening, you do have to have a conversation about like safety and the way he's being treated.
Right.
But he's not going to come home.
No.
I don't know what will happen, but there will have to be, like, you can't ignore it is what I'm saying. So I don't know what will happen, but obviously you won't be able to ignore something like this if it is proven to be true.
No, he's not going to come home. I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
Well, look, I'm just telling y'all what just happened.
And
what
the
I got
pedophile sign in front of his yard would be, oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
Oh, like how you have to let the people know in the community?
Yeah, you put sign. Wow, his sign would be crazy.
Yeah.
He got to get his own block. Get his own community.
He'd be banned from McDonald's.
Yeah, all of that. Especially the Playhouse ones.
All right. Well, that is the latest with Lauren. Now, when we come back, we got front page news. And comedian Arnez J will be joining us. It's the Breakfast Club.
California farmers are fuming over not being allowed to use new technology that they say could help lower your cost at the grocery store. Tonight, senior investigative reporter Begad Shaban continues our series, No One at the Wheel.
I'm Dr. Anne Kaplan-Mulholland, and this is my castle in Lymm. I am leaving the country of England because of reckless moves abolishing the non-dog tax regime.
Mulholland's imminent departure will see her join the growing list of over 10,000 millionaires to have recently left the UK. She invited LBC to her £5.5 million property to tell us why she's next in line to leave the country.
What made you want to
buy
it in the first place? What made you want to buy a castle?
I wasn't planning on buying anything, and we were going to rent, and we were going to buy in Mayfair or Knightsbridge.
Hi, I'm the Good Greek Spiro. As a police officer, I witnessed how rogue moving companies would take advantage of unsuspecting families during their move.
We were going to buy up there, but then it was too expensive, and it didn't make any sense with inflation and everything else to purchase, so we decided to rent. Then I thought, why is it so expensive in London? Because it was 10.8 million, 8.4 million pounds for the apartment. The cheapest
apartment,
one,
not this
the
castle.
flat, no. And so we just had this delivered, and we're putting like Instagrammable moments all around the castle.
So you've got how many full-time staff working on this?
So these gardeners, just the gardeners alone, we have 5 full-time gardeners.
5 full-time gardeners.
Maintaining the yards. There's 145 acres. This is a night hiding behind there, so you've got the night peeking around the corner over at this night. So around the castle, we'll have nights in different positions. I bought this at a secondhand store, literally. Bought it at a secondhand store for not too much, but it's probably 6,000 pounds for this. And it's all been restored.
In March 2024, the then Conservative Chancellor Jeremy Hunt announced that the non-dom tax regime would be phased out, and Labour made it an election promise to do that too. From April this year, the rules for non-doms, those not domiciled in the UK for tax purposes, have changed. Previously, those who said their home was outside of the UK would have only paid tax on the income they earned here. But from now on, they'll have to pay it on any income they earn worldwide. It was hoped that this would raise billions of pounds for the Treasury. It'll also be applied to people who are already here, not just new people coming in. And for people like Anne, that means paying millions of pounds extra in taxes, which she's not prepared to pay.
When you're as wealthy as we are, but we're not even near the multi-billionaires that are leaving. We'd have to be taxed on worldwide income. And then we have properties and businesses. We have income from rental properties, commercial properties, insurance company, businesses. Who would pay double tax? Tax there and then be taxed here? It makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, so you're talking tens of thousands?
Millions.
Millions.
Yes.
That you'd
in
lose
tax.
by being here.
And it makes no sense in the business model.
Yeah.
To be double taxed makes no sense.
Yeah.
And also we moved here because there was a protection, but why in England they consider that a bad thing? Because it was originally put in the 1700s to attract investment.
Yes, and it's obviously attracted investors like yourself.
And approximately 72,000 others that come to the country now. Arguably about 40,000, 32 to 40,000 are not necessarily the professors and the intellect and the doctors that are coming here for work. These are millionaires and billionaires that bring a lot of money into the country, invest in the country, buy property, invest in restaurants, and do things like we do, investing in buying a castle and employing 100 people.
It's a lot. And they're going to be losing all of that. And those people, we already know they are going.
And the 12 billion of tax we pay into the country now, that won't be paid anymore because there won't be that money, the income they're getting in. So whatever they're doing to calculate it, they're calculating it wrong because they thought
they thought it was going to make them money.
They thought everyone was going to stay and pay on their worldwide income, but
it's just not financially sensible.
Business model to any of us. It doesn't make sense.
Since the changes were announced, a string of high-profile millionaires have said they'll be leaving the UK for good. One recent report said that more than 10,000 millionaires left the UK in 2024. That's a 157% increase on the previous year. What do you say to a lot of people that go, well, actually, Rachel Reeves had no choice. She had to do this or put up taxes for other people who might be a lot less well off than yourself and who say...
everyone is paying more in tax.
Yeah.
Everyone is going to be hit hard. She has a choice. And so I'm not one to skirt ownership of anything. In fact, I just believe in, own what you say. She has a choice. And then anyone who's an intelligent business person has an ability to figure out how to have an argument that makes sense.
Yeah.
So she's in a position where she's a chancellor. Step back and say, what makes sense? She does have a choice.
Sure. But you're a millionaire, right? You have a lot of money to be able to comfortably accept these extra rules, these extra taxes. What do you say to people who say, well, she's rich enough anyway, she doesn't need the money, something like that?
So it's not just me. This is about the people. We are comfortable enough to just go and leave. And why would any intelligent business person just stay and just give away all their money? Yeah, we'll help. We'll continue to help. We'll continue to invest. We continue to invest in charitable giving and everything else that we do. But we're not going to make a business decision to pay tax on worldwide assets. And not myself or 11,800 people that have just left the country. You telling me that all of them are not making good decisions? That's okay. We'll just leave quietly.
I think you should invite her down to the castle.
Yes.
Invite her down to see what you're doing here and to see all the people you employ.
I wonder if she could come down for lunch at the Naughty Dog.
I'll invite her. I'll pass on an
I'd
invite.
love that. I'd love that.
The Chancellor's already scaled back the timescale of the new rules being brought in, but critics like Anne are still calling on her to think again before it's too late.
This is the oldest part of the whole castle.
Is it
1084?
1084. Did you believe her when she said she was going to do this? Or you think?
We did not believe it. When they first put it in, and with the last government put that in just before they left, we did not think that the next government would continue on. We thought it was more of a political, standpoint, but not something that they would actually do. And it's more of a political decision than an economic decision.
Does it feel ideological to you? Is this something they're just trying to prove a point?
Trying to prove a point, but it makes no sense. And especially in a country that could be heading into a recession, country with high debt, by keeping us in the country, and we're not the only solution, but by keeping us in the country and continuing to take our money, paying the taxes in England, and then probably doing something like they're doing in the other countries that roll out the red carpet and say, welcome. Well, Italy says pay €200,000 a year plus 35,000 for each dependent or spouse. Then why not charge £200,000 plus our tax-paying money, plus our investment, and plus ask us to invest in infrastructure? So why not say, here's something you could do for us if you want to stay. Pay your taxes in England, pay £200,000 a year, and invest in infrastructure.
Since speaking about this as well, you've got a lot of people who, seem to want to dislike you and want to say horrible things to you. Does that get to you a bit?
I'm concerned about the non-dom abolishment of the tax regime. I speak out about it publicly because I'm concerned about the economy, the people in England trying to run a business here. And it's easy for us to go. It's easy for anyone in our position to leave. But why be mean? Why not think, hey, maybe there is something that person has to say, and maybe there is something correct in what they're saying. And if not, argue back with, you're incorrect because this is what the impact is. And then have an
India is one of the largest sources of immigrants to the United States.
Being in Oman, I'm very relaxed. I don't have as much stress. They welcome me. They say, oh, hello, sister. I'm one of them. It's been very great. I wouldn't have stayed as long as I had if it wasn't a good life here. My name is Nicole Brewer. I'm 43 years old, and I'm an English teacher, travel advisor, and travel writer living in Oman.
The No Hidden Fee Cash App card.
Are you a hot sleeper? Do you find yourself waking up in the middle of the night, overheated and drenched in sweat? Something I did not know until I did more research is that if the body is too hot, it simply will not fall into the deep.
Now at 4, an actor arrested, an actor known for his role in the Fox hit television series Empire, faces an assault and battery charge in Chesapeake. Police say the charge against Brashear Gray was taken out by a private citizen. Andy Fox talked to the purported victim. Andy joins us now live from Chesapeake with the interview you'll see only on 10.
Hey, Regina, we are here in the parking lot of Homewood Suites right here, where at least part of this alleged attack occurred. Now, this is what we know. This is a police photo of Brashear Gray, who played Hakeem on the Fox drama Empire. According to the criminal complaint, one of Gray's associates, Dustin Wilkins, who goes by the name Chosen, as he told us, stated in this complaint, as I was explaining to him that he can't just leave the hotel without paying, adding, you have enough problems. I am trying to save your life. He then charged towards me around the car, charged into me, with his shoulder and fighting me as I was recording the incident over the phone. A blunt blow into me and punching me. Wilkins told us this in an exclusive interview. In his opinion, what is at the root of the disagreement with Gray?
Okay, so the situation with Brashear has a mental health disorder, okay? He is not a bad person. And something took place in a mental health aspect. I cannot disclose what took place. I cannot tell you the details of that. All I can tell you is that Brashear is a friend. He is like my brother. He is someone who is dealing with some very interesting mental health issues.
Now, one of the interesting aspects of this story, Wilkins, after he took out the charge, he says he was also important in the process of getting Gray a bond. I'll have that part of the story coming up tonight on Wavy News 10 at 5. Gray will be in court. He is scheduled on Wednesday, and he is out on a $5,500 bond. I'll have more for you exclusively at 5. In Chesapeake, Andy Fox, on your side.
This guy even fooled Donald Trump. He's one of the biggest scammers on Instagram, and you probably haven't even heard of him. He paints cars in wild fashion. Some of them are owned by celebrities. He hosts events at Art Basel in Miami. He has over 1 million followers on Instagram. He's been a guest on a lot of podcasts. And he even painted the car that Jack Doherty was driving during his stunt that went mega viral a few months ago when he was streaming while getting into a brutal car accident.
Where's the new crib gonna be at? Is it gonna be like, is it bigger than this?
Yeah, it's bigger. It's probably twice the size of this one.
Like a 5 million plus?
Yeah,
that's what's up.
This influencer claims to be wealthy, connected to society's elite.
Why did no one tell Florida drivers about this new rule? If you are currently insured, drive less than 50 miles a day and
Light it up, smoke it up, inhale, exhale. Yes.
What's up, Piners? Hey, what's up? You got a cigarette?
No.
What about $1?
No.
You trying to buy some Lubriderm? You need them for the crusty ass feet.
Fuck you, motherfucker.
Man, everyone's on me about their money. OG family about to blow up. But with all these bills, it's like I owe everyone something. Not sure how long I could keep ducking everyone.
But for real, fool, Gus rolls with some real ones nowadays, my boy. He ain't that little gordito we used to clown back in the day. So whatever you do, you better do it fast, dog, because that's the way blame. I got this plan for what you trying. I bought this right here off the Dollar Tree. Shut your ass up, fool. You're looking like a used condom. Fool, number one, Sam knows who you are. Two, there's fucking cameras everywhere. Your ass ain't gonna get away with shit. Take that shit off, fool. But hey, I got an idea. Let's throw a taco party. I'm with that. We'll raise some money, fool. I'll be that vato selling tacos. I'll start making calls. No money, though. I got you, my boy. Just when the brand takes off, you already know. Take care of me, fool. I gotta take care of you, fool. Hey, I'm gonna start making some calls. I'm gonna get all the baddies, fool. And we're gonna get this shit jumping. You down or what? I'm with you. You better not be scared, fool. Let's get this shit cracking, my boy. What's up, bro? What's up, dog? What's up, man? How you doing, my boy? What's up, Peppa? Give me that.
Listen, homie, Manny, when we were little, he was always down to run the fade. I always fuck with him, wishing we could go back to those times he could get up and sock my ass.
Man, you don't sweat me for money too, though? Yeah, I will be sweating your money if you would pay now, would I?
Man, I'll pay you when I feel like it, dog.
Hey, when you feel like it, just because I'm in this wheelchair don't mean you can get fucked up, bro.
Man, roll your ass into that wall.
I'm gonna roll you into a fucking ass whooping.
Man, fuck you, motherfucker. That's why you're always trying to hit this. Man, give me my change. Hey, what's up, Mikey? How's the brand going?
Hey, baby girl, we're having a party this Saturday, a taco party. Bring all them baddies you be rolling with.
Hey, you already know I'll be there.
Hey, all the meat and chile you guys can eat, baby girl. Cali al bolo. All right, that's right. Hell yeah, it's about to go down. That's right. Hell yeah. Hey, Mike, you good with champagne and beers? Oh, shit. What's up, boy? That Chucky over there? Hey, get up, Chucky. Yeah, my boy, they got you working harder than your baby mama on rent week. That's right. Get that money, boo-boo. Good seeing you, homeboy.
up, deal?
What's up, nephew? Man, this was tripping, but it's all good. Don't worry about it, my boy.
Man, that fool got punked so hard his blunt passed himself.
Oh, shit. It's about to go down, my boy. You better give me this shit.
Now, what's up? Why you messing with homie still?
Man, you little Edgars ain't about to do nothing out here looking like some goofballs.
Man, who you calling an Edgar, homie? Get him on this 4 bags.
Let me tell you something about me. I'm with the shit, boy. Fuck with me, my first time, boy. Since then I had to keep it on my hip, boy. If I let it ring, then I promise I won't miss.
Get your ass out. Get your ass out.
Stay up in the section while all the shit ass. Up and down, whoop.
What's up, my boy? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, dog.
Yeah, that little Edgar whipped your ass, dog.
Yeah.
I'm to pay your debts on this shit.
Man, them little fools really got me. Between them, Gus, and Manny, man, I got all these problems and it's barely Tuesday.
Mikey.
Hey, what up, Gus?
You got my money?
Yeah, I'm gonna need some more time. Me and Bert's gonna throw a taco junkie party. Get you your money.
Okay. You got till Friday to have my money.
All right. Cool. God damn, Mike.
Stupid fuck.
Sometimes you gotta take 3 steps back if you wanna level up in life.
Why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning.
Addressing affordability. Tonight, we're taking a look at manufactured home parks. For many, they are one of the last options for stable, lower-cost living. But a new report accuses one of the nation's largest mobile home park owners of turning affordable communities into dangerous ones. News4Jax consumer investigator Tiffany Salame spoke with local families living in homes they say are anything but affordable.
It's a sweeping problem across the state of Florida. So we asked you about it. A new public health report accuses one of the country's largest...
Stop dreaming, start booking. Your next trip is just a deal away on Priceline. Priceline.
Hey, stop playing with your fanny pack. You need the Bearskin Tactical Hoodie 4.0 to get comfortable in the wild. It's the ultimate 10-pot
home park owners of neglecting Florida communities, creating unsafe and unsanitary conditions that are endangering residents' health. Homes of America owns more than 60 communities in Florida alone, but it's not just their properties where residents are facing steep rent hikes and neglect.
The floor's coming up, mold is terrible. My doctor's done told me to move, but on mine and his income is less than $2,000. With the both of us pulling together, we couldn't pull any more than that. So you're forced to live in this.
We're concealing this woman's identity because she fears her landlord may raise her rent prices even more for speaking out. She's renting a manufactured home in Jacksonville that she says is worse for wear.
I can't even begin to tell you what is wrong with this house. No overhang on this trailer. When it rains in the doors. It comes through the windows. Mold was on the walls. You had to keep washing walls and bleach inside. We were supposed to pay $800. Every time I turn around, there's more than that.
Now, on top of the lot rent increases, you're hit with a lot of junk fees, it sounds like.
A junk fees, just the word you want to use, because I don't understand. But it's not just me, honey. It's everybody in this neighborhood.
This was supposed to be an affordable place to live on her fixed income. But every month, she says it's becoming more unaffordable.
Do you worry that you could be priced out of living here?
If they raise the rent, yeah, I would have to.
Tell me about how much you're paying for lot rent, and is that unaffordable for you?
$700+ I own my trailer. Yes, it is.
Other residents have similar complaints. Those who are paying lot rent, like Gerard, are paying almost as much as the tenants who are renting both the trailer and the land.
I don't think it should be near that high. The problems we're having out here are terrible. I find that a lot of money just to park a trailer. And you pay your own electric, your own water. There's no benefit of being here other than having your trailer parked.
There aren't many other rental options under $1,000 in Florida. Median rent for housing seekers was $1,555 in July of 2024, according to research from the University of Florida. And the state has only 26 affordable and available rental units for every 100 households with incomes that are below 30% of the area's median income. That leaves residents with lower incomes forced to live in hazardous conditions.
I have to do what I have to do to live.
We tried to reach the owner of the mobile home park where the residents you heard from in this story are living. We stopped by the office and called multiple times to ask about the residents' concerns there. Employees who answered my calls told me the owner would call me back, but that hasn't happened yet. Tiffany Salome, Channel 4, the local station.
We know you'll be waiting for that. Well, Tiffany, you've actually heard from people all across Jacksonville who have similar complaints about their manufactured home communities.
Yeah, Joy, just yesterday I spoke with a resident of a different manufactured home community who told me his rent has more than doubled in the last 9 months. He actually shared this letter with me of one of his more recent rent increases. And it says in 90 days, what he pays for his lot rent will increase by almost $100. And several other fees will also be increased.
It's great you're shedding a light on all this. Tiffany Salome, thanks.
Damn.
Well, first of all, welcome. My name is Brooke Rollins. I have the great honor of being in.
This week's Warrant Watch focuses on the case of a grandmother who died after being beaten in broad daylight.
And the weapon used, an aluminum baseball bat. NBC4's Carrie Charles joins us now with more about this case. Carrie?
Well, Jen, these are the people who love Yolanda Vaughn. Children, grandchildren, other family members, and friends. She's gone. It's not clear how she and her accused killer knew each other. What we do know is that these folks are reeling from an attack that happened a little more than a month ago. Tonight, Columbus Police, the U.S. Marshal Service, and the victim's family are asking for your help. For help in finding the person responsible for this violent assault.
Yolanda Vaughn was 54. She gave birth to 3 children and adopted 2 others.
I would say one of her biggest qualities is that she cared for people. She was a living individual.
Robert Vaughn Jr. falls right in the middle.
Just an amazing person, my friend, big time friend. I would say one of my best friends.
Vaughn died following injuries sustained during a brutal attack.
A child of God, a believer in Jesus Christ, to be my teacher, a woman, who loved music.
In this week's Warrant Watch, the search for the suspect in Vaughn's death, 31-year-old Erica Carr. These are previous mugshots. In both, you'll notice she has the word nephew tattooed across her neck.
This is violence at its worst. She top her and continues to strike her with this aluminum bat. And then the lady gets up staggering, and she pushed her again, and she fell down and hit her head on the cement.
And 90 minutes later, Vaughn was gone. Court filings show the attack happened on the 2300 block of Hiawatha Park Drive, May 5th of this year, around 12:30 in the afternoon. Carr is now facing a murder charge.
What was the purpose of doing something like that? Like, nobody deserves that.
Vaughn and Robert Sr. were married for about 23 years and remained good friends after their divorce.
I mean, I could see if somebody was trying to, you breaking your home, you defend yourself. But to my knowledge, that wasn't the case. So why would you do that? And I do hope that justice is served. You deserve whatever is coming to you.
Those who love Vaughn are left with memories, like when she had her face painted during Hallelujah night at church. Vaughn's son wants Carr to know,
you took somebody who mattered
a lot to people, and you may not care. And, you know, I've prayed for you, and I've also prayed for my family. And it's hard to say that I forgive you, but it'd be hard to not with my beliefs. But I do want you to serve justice, and however God sees fit is what I want to happen.
Marshall Black did not have details about what led to the attack and says, frankly, it doesn't matter, especially since this doesn't appear to be a case of self-defense. Here is another look at 31-year-old Erica Carr. Her last known address was on the 2300 block of Clinton Street. Remember, she has the word nephew tattooed on her neck. If you've seen her, scan the QR code.
I'm a businesswoman. I'm a leader and a reality star, capitalizing on being a villain.
What does a self-proclaimed reality show villain know about real estate? Well, it turns out quite a bit. Our I-team found One Star Success has now locked hundreds of North Texans into contracts. They're going to cost them thousands of dollars in the end. Andrea Lucia to explain.
That is the house right there.
Tanya Shaw can barely look at the home she built with her husband nearly a decade ago.
I miss it. I definitely miss it.
When you pay your rent with Bilt, you earn valuable points every month to redeem toward flights with world-class airlines.
Because there's nothing like having something that belongs to you.
This trip down memory lane in Midlothian is still painful, almost a year after the sale of her family's home. Over in Glen Heights, John Relaford wishes he could sell his mother's house.
It's been a struggle. It's been
frustrating.
Yeah, very frustrating.
Both found themselves locked into legal agreements with a company called MV Realty.
There's a real estate company that will pay you today if you're a homeowner.
The company calls it a homeowner benefit agreement. You can get up to $5,000 in cash up front for agreeing to use MV Realty as your agent, even if you never plan to sell. Real estate attorney Jennifer Noctegal says she sees a lot of red flags in the business model.
They find a lot of ways to call something one thing, but it is what it is, right? So call it a homeowner's benefit agreement, but it's really like an exclusive listing agreement that binds you basically to pay these people whether or not they do any services for you.
Some of the contract terms are pretty unconventional. The agreement lasts 40 years. Yep, 40. If you die, it gets passed to your relatives. And if you break the contract, you have to pay a hefty termination fee. The company can keep you from selling or even refinancing by filing a memorandum against your property. Noctegal says while it's technically not a lien, it has the same effect as one.
Texas Constitution has strong protections for the homestead, and they don't allow certain liens to be filed against the homestead. I think that's the very reason they're not filing an actual lien. But by filing the memo, there's more of a question as to what's the purpose of this memo? Well, it's just giving you notice that we have this agreement, right? But, you know, maybe we have a lien, maybe we don't.
The I-team searched real estate records and found MV Realty has filed memorandums against more than 500 properties across DFW, with more than 1,200 in all of Texas. Dozens of homeowners have complained to the Attorney General. While Texas has yet to take any action, 11 other states are suing MV Realty, claiming unfair or deceptive practices. It's a lot of legal drama, but the company's founder is used to being a villain.
I am a real estate agent. I use my personal property sometimes to close the deal.
Amanda Zachman made a name for herself as a controversial house guest who loved confrontation on season 15 of the CBS reality show Big Brother.
The truth of the matter is, ladies, that you all talk about each other.
She ultimately
Sorry to interrupt the happy occasion. Shade Shaw, I got a crazy yes after this, man. But you know we gotta get to that sponsor, Pink Horsepower. Fellas, if you're down and out, take a shot of Pink Horsepower. Baby mother too, which we can't really get into, but that's somebody baby mother. But this the nigga who fucking the Jane Doe bitch with Diddy, who's supposed to be the bitch. It's crazy, but we gonna bring the nigga in. The nigga name is Rico, and we gonna interview him right now. Yo, Rico, what's up, baby? Fresh off trial.
Man, what's happening? I'm blessed, my dude. How you doing?
Shit, everything. And first of all, thank you for coming on the show. We really appreciate it, man. And we know a lot's been going on in the media and the news and all the publicity surrounding this trial. And I can imagine the last thing that you would think of that you would get subpoenaed to go talk about what you do in a federal court case. So I know all this is probably a lot for you the last few weeks.
Yeah, man, they caught me off guard. It's been a lot.
Yeah, I can imagine. So listen, a lot of people just get clips off Instagram or what's going on the trial or social media or the Shade Room or Baller Alert or Hollywood or all the gossip pages. And they may not know initially what's going on. They're just taking bits and pieces. So let's kind of run this down. How did this initially happen? How did Puff and Jane Doe get in contact with you?
I work with an agency and they got contact with me through the agency.
Okay, what kind of agency is this?
Like a companion escort agency that also book like entertainers to dance for like bachelorette and birthday parties as well.
So the first time you met Puff and Jane Doe, where was this at exactly?
It was at the Audition in Hollywood.
Okay, and how did that go when you first arrived there? So they reached out through this company that you work for, just so I'm clear. You get booked. When you get there, are you thinking you're going there to dance? Let's ask this question first. Is this what you do, or do you dance, or you also escort?
I dance, but with this agency, it's a lot of the time when they book, it's like a lady that wants to go to an event or a couple and the husband wants you to dance for his wife or go out to an event and be with her. Right. Kind of like a companion escort agency.
Got you.
A lot of times it's bachelorette and birthdays.
So, because when I spoke to Sheree, he was saying that this isn't what he does. He just usually dances. This was kind of the first time that you usually be fucking niggas bitches. That's kind of what you do anytime besides this?
No, it's mostly dancing.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was wondering. It's just mainly dancing. So explain to me, you get to the audition, you get to the room. What happens when you get to the room? You go up the elevator, get to the room. Who opens the door or who's there? How does this initial first introduction go?
When I knock on the door, Puff opens the door at first.
Fuck out of here.
And I walk in.
Get the fuck out. So did you know this though, or you just think that you're going for what you usually do?
I had to sign the NDA before I went there, so like they kind of told me it was a celebrity client.
Got you, but you didn't know it was going to be them. Yeah. All right, so let's lay this out. You get there, Puff opens the door.
Clue.
Pardon me?
I had a clue.
Oh, you had a clue.
Like I had, yeah.
Got you. So you get there, Puff opens the door. How does that introduction go when you open the door and you see his Puff?
I just dap him off and I walk in and he asked me if I knew who he was and I was like, no, and he tells me his name and I'm like, I knew who he was, but I was just like, and he was like, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Bad Boys, and I was like, and he played some music and I'm like, oh yeah, that's you. And he's like, well, let's go sit on the balcony.
He played his own music to let you know he was, like he played Bad Boy music and shit? Yeah. He started dancing and shit, he just played the music when
he just played the music and I was like, oh yeah.
All right. So, nigga play, Puff a L nigga. Nigga got theme music. It's a wild nigga. So, he opens the door, you walk in, and y'all go chill for a second, you said?
Yeah, like I walk in the living room and there was like towels laying on the couch and the floor and shit. And I'm like, all right, it's interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on?
Right.
He's like, yeah, come let's sit in the back so I can tell you what's up.
Right.
And then we go to the little balcony or whatever. And he's just like asking me about my career and how long I've been with the agency or what I do.
Right.
And like we ran there for like 20 minutes. And he was like, talking about he likes porn, and he's at a point in his career where he likes to curate and make his own porn. And then he started bragging. He was like, I got a girl in sexy, you gonna love her. And then he tells her to come out, and she comes out in like lingerie, and we just like chill and smoke for about 30 minutes. And he was like, this is what I want to do. I want you to stand talking to her, I want her to stand at the end of the balcony. And like, it's like, all right, she's in the bar, you walk in, and y'all just meet, and he tells her action, and she just goes to like playing it, like, hey, how you doing? What's your name? So I'm like, all right, I just play the role, and we do that for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, so get to the addition. Puff opens the door. He says, you don't know who I am. You tell him no. He start playing bad boy music. Walk with you to
he said like 3 different names.
Did he?
Then start playing the music.
Yeah, then start playing the music, because you like, whatever, I'm here for work. Then he sits down and tells you that he wants to curate a porn, and then tell you what the porn scene is. So he's directing this fantasy, basically. So y'all was at a bar, and so technically in his brain, you just meet his shorty at a bar.
Yeah.
Got you. But he laid this out to you before Jane Doe came out.
No, he told me that, but when she came out, he like said what he wanted it to be while she was sitting right there next to him.
Right. And you was at the bar, so to explain that scenario, like how'd that go? Like you just, without getting detail, y'all really role played that for him?
We ran that for like 3 minutes, and I was like, this kind of weird. And she was like, well, what you want to do? I was like, let me dance for you.
Right.
So we went in, and she was like, let me pick the 3 songs. She picked 3 songs she wanted to play.
Right.
And that's when I'm wondering why the towel was. I was like, what's all the towels for? And she was like, you gonna see. So I start dancing, and she puts up the baby oil, and he's like instructing her where to sit, what to do, and telling her to say certain stuff, and she kind of just following his lead. And as I'm dancing, I take my shirt off, and she like starts to pour baby oil on me, and he's telling her like, put the baby oil down, just sit back, kind of instructing her as I'm dancing.
Right.
And he pulls his phone out as I'm dancing for her, and I'm like, don't record me.
He really trying to make a movie for real. So when you told him, so let me ask you this, when you told him, I want to get back to a couple things you said, but I want to stay here. When you told him don't record me, what's his reaction to that?
He was like, all right, cool. He just like put the phone down.
Right. But I see it somewhere where you said it was still a laptop up, possibly.
Yeah, there was a laptop on the table next to him.
Do you think he was recording on that secretly, or you told him to shut that down as well?
I went and closed the laptop. Like when he put the phone down, I went up and I pulled the laptop down like that.
Got you. I also seen where you made it clear to him, because just for our audience, you're not gay, and you made it clear to him that you didn't want to be touched by him at all, to where you're also an MMA fighter, for what I'm understanding, and you showed him 2 of your fights to let him know, don't play with me. Is that correct?
Yeah. It wasn't not me showing him that exactly for that reason, but he was curious about what I did, so I showed him the videos. And then she asked me, she was like, are you cool with doing the threesome? And I was like, no, I'm not cool with that.
Right.
And then never tried it.
Right. Was it any point during this, and we're staying on the first initial meeting, was there any point during this encounter with you and Jane Doe, did you think that Puff would try to join? Because when I spoke to Sheree about it, he said he couldn't get right because he kept thinking about Puff in his peripheral, trying to come in and trying to join, because he said Puff was basically jerking off watching him with Cassie. Did you worry about that when you were in there with Jane Doe?
No, and I always had her position to where I could see him.
Right. Was he jerking off, pause, while you was slamming his shorty?
He had his shirt off, and he was sitting with his pants on. He had his hands in his pants, playing with shit.
Wow. It's crazy. And now, that's what I asked Sheree too, you know what I'm saying? Baby oil, he said, was mandatory. Was baby oil mandatory when y'all was
Yeah, I had to tell her, I was like, it's too much baby oil, like that's enough, you know what I'm saying, with baby oil.
They got a
you know what I'm saying? Like, we overdoing the whole baby oil thing.
Yeah, but what do you think that's about? personally, like he just wanted to see everybody shiny. Like, what do you think? Why do you think that? What your personal opinion?
Honestly, I can't answer. Like,
right.
I like the girl to be wet when I'm having sex, but that shit right there is just a little overkill.
Right, I got you. I got you 100%. So, how many times did you actually meet up with Puff and Jane Doe?
Jane Doe, yeah, twice.
Okay. I was seeing a lot in her testimony that she was saying, and not necessarily with you, she was just saying throughout these acts that she felt obligated to do this. She felt like she was just doing this because Puff was paying her rent. She never felt comfortable. It was times that Puff would have engagements with her and somebody else and then go off with the current girlfriend that he had at the time. When y'all was together talking about you and Jane Doe, did it seem like she didn't want to be there at any particular time, or did it seem like she was enjoying herself?
It seemed like she was enjoying herself to me. Like, we was joked out, laughing, chilling at the same time, you know, and it didn't seem like she was uncomfortable or felt forced at all to me.
Right. Did she orgasm?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it seemed like she wanted to be there. She did what? Not to get too deep. Did she squirt? Is she a squirter? Okay. So you felt it? Did you think the orgasm was fake, or she just was doing that to entertain Puff?
You never know.
Right.
You never know.
I got you, man. And like I said, there was a lot of things that she said. Did you know about who she was? I know you said you knew who Puff was. Did you know who she was?
I didn't.
Right. Did you know that? Well, you didn't know who she was. Learning moving forward, did you realize that this is kind of what she does because she's been with other people? Like I said, I want to make sure I don't use the wrong words here, but you know, who possibly put it like this. I'll word it like this. She said in one of her testimony that Puff used to threaten her with videos and said he would send it to her baby's father. Did you realize who this was when the trial actually started?
I realized the weekend after I had the first encounter, because when I got the NDA and the agency let me know that it was a celebrity client, I have a friend that's with the agency as well.
Right.
And I told him, and he told me, he was like, it's Diddy. And I'm like, what? Like, why would you say that?
Right.
Because he's with the agency and he was booked with them a couple times. So when I first opened the door and seen him, I was like, damn, he's right.
Right.
So after the encounter, I managed shows like the same show Sheree manages. Right. I managed their show in New Orleans, in Las Vegas, in LA.
Right.
And he's in the show. And after the booking, I was at the show and I was like, I told him about the booking and he showed me the pictures, like, was this her? And I was like, yeah, that was her. And
right.
then he told me who it was.
Wow.
And then I was like, damn, that's when I realized.
Right. 100 fucking crazy. How far did these fantasies go? Like, I understand if, like you said, the encounter, but was it oral, anal? Like, was he directing y'all that far to shit that he wanted to see, or was it just regular sex with baby oil?
It was, she did give me oral, but it was pretty much regular sex with baby oil. Wasn't no like crazy shit.
But was he directing her throughout the whole encounter, Puff, I'm talking about?
Yeah, he'll tell her like switch positions. When she's doing oil, tell her stop and pour the baby oil or pour it on herself, or like say certain shit, and she would follow along.
Wow. Did it seem in any?
No, I didn't feel that. Yeah. But there was one time when she kind of caught an attitude with him. When she was giving me oil, I was like, damn, she nice with it. And he said, yeah, she's one of the ones on my A team. Oh. And she was like, I am the team.
Oh, got you. So got you. Yeah, see, the thing is, I mean, like I said, I don't want to get too much into it because of legal things, but what? Hold on, sorry, just came out. You could have been on the B team. I don't know what the problem. If you're on the A team, yeah, you could have been on the B or C team. P, you feel me? I don't really get it. When I've been on the B or C team. P, you feel me? I don't really get it. What the problem is, but yeah, man, this is crazy. How much was you getting paid for this shit?
The initial booking was 2, but I got 5.
Okay, each time?
Yeah.
Okay. Did she ever try to reach out to you after you guys all did what y'all did? By herself?
Through the agency. No.
Okay, never personal. Okay, cool, man.
Never personal.
Got you. Yo, P, you got something to ask? I saw him up here with my co-hosts as well. You have any questions for Rico? Thank you as well, man. We gonna
Yo,
a couple
Rico.
more minutes and we're gonna get you out of here.
Yo, Rico, what's up, my G?
What's happening, bro?
Let me ask you a question. I know you gave him your dance name was Rico, so when you got subpoenaed and all that, how did they able to contact you and get your real name?
Oh, they wasn't. They never got my real name.
No, I know them, but for you to get subpoenaed.
Even, but basically, we talked about it earlier just so he understand, even in the transcripts, it's not his name.
All right, copy. All right. Second question. You said you was just there to dance, so when you was approached to have and reenact this, was that your first time? Or you've done it before already? Or you just danced all the time?
I danced all the time.
All right. That's it.
Larry?
So how you doing, brother? So my thing is, I noticed the other guy, Sheree, I think that's his name. He was booked like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Why is it that? Why do you think that you were only booked for the 2 days, right? The 2 times, and why do you? Sheree only talked about his fee was only $2,000. Do you have different fees that you guys set, or?
There's a fee like the $2,000 is for the time. But then if like they wanted to do extra, then it's on you to be like, it's going to be this much for if we doing extra. Because I'm there to just dance and date. You see what I'm saying? Or like going for an experience. But if they trying to do all that, then you can be like, this is my fee. Because it goes by time. So instead of, if it's $2,000 for 4 hours, if y'all trying to do something extra, then it's going to be 5 type situation.
So
dance at discretion.
Did you feel some kind of way? Because like I said, Sheree was booked over it sounded like a 6-month period, and then and he didn't sound like he gave any resistance to Puff, but it sounds like you were like, "Yo, don't film me." And do you think that was maybe why you weren't brought back, or and because it sounds like you guys were all in communication, and then I also read that there was a situation here in Vegas that she saw, and I believe Jane Doe saw you, and then with some other celebrity. Is that the? I mean, everyone's speculating about who the other rapper was. Was that you, the other rapper, with you and the other rapper, and in that whole situation as well?
No.
No.
Yeah, I was confused about that.
No. There was a report. I read a report that said that I think it was you, and that Diddy was upset because he saw you out here in Vegas with another freak off with another rapper, and she saw you, and he went through her phone and saw that. That's what I'm asking. So that wasn't you then.
What I'm asking you, Larry, is what you read some shit that Puff was jealous that he was with somebody else?
I read that he went through the phone to contact him, and then he saw that there was communication.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Was that you, or that it must be someone else, because they said he was out here in Vegas with another celebrity, and he was upset because he was saying, why were you going to the freak-offs with, and then, I assumed it was you, the way they made it sound. It was you.
That's sure. Jane Doe all over the fucking place. She's fucking everywhere. But
I dance with celebrities, but...
Yeah. But I come to the conclusion with Jane Doe is this, man. This is what she do. And I don't want to say too much because she's basically saying in her transcript that she did it for her rent to get paid, or she did it. She never felt like she wanted to do this, and that's why I really wanted to bring Rico up here to get his point of view to feel like if it was forced, because you don't want to be insensitive to the situation as well. But that's what that's why I'm being very cautious on how I approach the situation. But to make a long story short, this is about his experience, and he's saying that the times he was there, she did not feel forced, which was really what I wanted to get down to.
Yeah, I didn't catch that vibe.
Right, exactly. Yo, Reek, man, I really, really appreciate you coming on, bro. You always welcome on the show anytime you want to come up, bro. And like I said, thanks for taking the time to come up here. We appreciate you on Talk with Fleet.
Likewise, my dude. Y'all stay blessed.
All right, much love. Shit getting nasty, man. You know what I'm saying? That nigga Puff got a different type of imagination, man. The nigga Puff told the nigga, yo, so we in the club. From the nigga.
Holla at my joint.
Yeah, we in the club. You holla at her and then start freaking off in the club.
That shit is crazy.
He's a wild nigga. Look, man, we getting ready to go to break. We'll be back in a minute with Talk with Fleet. Yeah, man, it's a nasty nigga, man. I love him. I don't know what to say. So my man Sin City in the building, no Sin. What's good, man?
Fuck is up with these interviews, man?
Hey, yo, man, you know what I realized with this shit, pause? It's like when Shannon Sharp did Cat Williams and all the comedians started coming on shit. This is not the hub for the male escorts. Let's be clear on that immediately. This is not the hub for that. I'll be very clear. I just can't believe a lot of shit that's going on. And then all the shit that I'm reading about, these niggas, I want to see if they co-signing some of this shit. But it's just getting nasty about a week. So the nigga said that they was slipping slide. Yo. Yo, the nigga said that, yo, bro, and like I said, it's gonna come on, so we ain't gotta dive too much into it. But the nigga said he told Puff told the nigga, yo, when my shorty come out, well, she said she was already out. Nigga Puff said, yo, act like y'all in the club, and y'all just met. Do that right there. Act like y'all in the club.
So wait.
No, hold on. Let me finish doing this. This is Puff.
Oh, okay.
No, you say Al Bundy like this. No. Switch up. Start sucking his dick. Yeah, 18. Like, yo, what are we doing? yo, shit, wow. What you gonna say, Sim? My bad.
At what part? I thought being an escort was supposed to be like you paying for privacy. How is these niggas just out just talking about this? Like, didn't he pay for his privacy? Like,
You saying sign the NDA, right? He said,
no, I'm just saying, when it comes to like prostitution, escort and all that shit, there's supposed to be like a code of ethic that they got, right? Like, they're not supposed to tell or no shit like that. You paying for privacy, right? Like, how is these niggas just out here just talking about that shit?
I think my opinion is once you get subpoenaed, what you want me to do? It's public record at this point, my nigga. Matter of fact, nigga subpoenaed me, told the FBI to keep it private. You let it get to the FBI. This is federal. This is a federal case. This ain't state. This is federal. Once it gets subpoenaed now, what my personal opinion is, I think them niggas is like, yo, let me get the advertisement and get booked. This really what I do. Let me try and get the... Yo, listen, man. It's a wild equation, my nigga. Shit is...
I got one thing to say.
Yeah, what you gotta say?
I feel like they telling their story, Sam, because once you subpoena them, they like, yo, now you putting my business out there in public? So I gotta protect myself. So this is why they telling their story.
That's a fact.
I didn't sign up for this. All I did was sign up to dance. That's it. I ain't signed up for all this. My business out on the street. I got to protect my brand. So that's why they telling their story and telling their side.
That's a great point. I totally agree with that. 100%. I totally agree with that.
Right.
Fuck you talking about?
I got families and kids and all that.
Yeah.
I might do this at night and be a full-time father in the day.
That's a fact.
And I live a double life. My family don't know this. Now my business out there, all in the newspapers and channels.
Yo, that is a great point, because you know why? P, that's a terrific point. Because homeboy that just got off the show, he in film school in LA and all this other shit he said or whatever. But the point being is, to your point, P, right? I got a day job. I go to work and everything else. Now I get subpoenaed to come to court. And now if I go back to work, niggas say, I ain't know you was the Punisher, though.
Right, yeah. what you do?
Yeah. Yo, Mr. Johnson, pause, want to see you in the office. Nah, it's unethical.
Yeah.
We can't have this around our clients. Like, this is what I'm saying, man. That's a great point, PT. I'm glad that you said that. Is a terrific point, man. Yes, and I'm sorry we was trying to get you on the call because I'm pretty sure you had 2 million questions. Because it was bad, man. It was pretty bad. It was pretty slippery. It was nasty. When I get this, and you know when we hear all these allegations, and niggas is like, yo, baby or this, baby or this, baby. And niggas is like, cut it out with the baby or it ain't that. Now when you hear the story, niggas like, nah, it was really like that with the baby oil. I was reading in in some of the testimony too, that nigga said he had the blow-up pool filled with baby oil, like the little joint.
Baby pool.
Baby pool, baby oil. Niggas like, Oh shit, yo, let's move on, son. What we talking about today, man? What's going on, man?
You know what I saw? What I was curious about? What we would think about it? I saw, their business is out there, but Cardi B got her son hair done the same style that, what's his name? Stephon Diggs got his hair done, and Offset was a little upset. What you think about that? Like, I don't have kids, so I wouldn't understand. Would you still get mad even if you're not with the girl? Like, you supposed to still get mad at shit like that?
Yeah. Like, I mean, if you're in a child's life, like, look, I'm just saying, I'm just putting myself in that situation. And
All right, to Fox News Alert, President Trump is back in Washington after cutting his time at the G7 summit in Canada short. The commander-in-chief saying he has not reached out to Iran for peace talks.
Meanwhile, more than 300,000 Iranians being warned to evacuate Tehran, the capital, as Israel's Operation Rising Light.
Fame is not necessarily funny. Back in the day, fame was cool. You know what I'm saying? But now, it's tough, And what's crazy is everything that you're doing could be negated in one post. I think social media is good, right? But it's also super dangerous. Black folk tough. If black folks say you're good, you're great. Here we are.
Thank you.
Live with Brandy.
We're live with Jamie.
Welcome to the Brandy Show.
In your home.
In the house.
Thank you for allowing us to be here. I know there is special significance. 40 acres.
It's 40 acres.
The cost and value of a college education have been under scrutiny amid what can be crippling levels of student debt. That's also been true in some cases for online university degrees of dubious quality and outcome.
China has been operating against an AI master plan since 2018.
Wow.
There's
They thought they were breaking into an empty house, but a group of would-be burglars didn't expect what happened next.
Yeah, the homeowners were home, and the surprise confrontation sent the suspects running. Chris Wolf joins us live from the Hollywood Hills with a story that you'll see only on 5. Hi, Chris, what happened?
That's right. Good evening, Court and Micah. Yeah, what a story this is.
We are Titan Chevy of Stark. Your Chevy store is under new ownership, and we're committed to building a reputation of honesty.
All right, we have a Fox News alert. President Trump issuing a warning to Iran after continued strikes against Israel have not stopped for 5 days. Iran should have signed the deal, he said. I told them to sign it. What a shame and waste of human life. Simply stated, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I said it over and over again. Everyone should immediately evacuate Iran. Mark Dubowitz is here. He's the CEO of Foundation for Defense of Democracy. He's been studying this for decades. He's going to break down what Iran has, what Israel has, and what the target should be. Mark, great to see you.
Thanks, Brian.
So let's begin and talk about what Iran has. They have enough rockets to be able to
hit any of these areas, correct?
That is right. I mean, Iran has not only threatened to go after U.S. forces and our Gulf allies, it's hit our Gulf allies before in Saudi Arabia, in the UAE. And so our Gulf allies are afraid that Iran is going to use these missiles to attack them.
So we're worried about our troops in Iraq. We're worried about our troops in Qatar. I got it. But do you think that they would hit a Gulf state in order to, I guess, throw it off put pressure on other countries to stop Israel from hitting them?
Not only do I think so, they've actually threatened to do so, and they've already done so. So that's exactly the way that they want to involve the Gulf allies, put pressure on the Gulf allies, and try to deter our involvement.
So you hear about ballistic missiles. What does Iran have? Is Israel surprised by the number that they have? Here's a look of, if you're going to go shopping, this is what Israel has put on their Amazon account. What rockets should we be thinking about, and what do you think is key for what these rockets are capable of?
Well, first of all, anything that is nuclear capable is defined as a 500-kilogram payload delivered over 300 kilometers. So that's nuclear capable. If these missiles get into Israel, and if the Iranians were developing nuclear warheads, which is exactly what Israeli intelligence said they were going to do, they could deliver not just a conventional payload, but a nuclear payload. And they've got these from the Chinese, the North Koreans, and the Russians.
You know what's so interesting is you got David Sling, you have the Iron Dome, you got 2 arrow systems, and you have a laser system, and somehow between 10 and 15% are still getting through. This is the tougher question. Is there any rocket in particular that's given the Israelis trouble more than they thought?
Well, I think the Shahab 3s are very dangerous. I mean, they've got the largest ballistic missile inventory in the Middle East, 3,000 ballistic missiles, 2,000 of them capable of reaching Israel. And the Israelis, I think, have knocked out about 50% of their ballistic missile capability. The Israeli Air Force is hunting missile launchers. That's exactly what they're going after. They've knocked out about 30% of those.
Not easy, a lot of them are back of trucks. All right, now let's see what Israel's got and bringing to the table. This is what they've been doing. They've been using fighter jets. They've been going about 1,000 miles, hitting different military targets, not civilian targets, although they hit state-run media yesterday.
Yeah, that was a big hit. I mean, the Islamic Republic of Iran's broadcasting is not only a command center for the military, but it's also their propaganda center. And I know many Iranians were celebrating inside.
And I'm doing this a little different, y'all. I hate to see when the brother come home after doing 30 years, 20 years, and they just go on a podcast and get their story away for free. And that podcast that you go on, they might make 20, 30 grand hearing your story.
Narrative. Don't try to take Lush's manhood, dude.
Pause.
Pause.
None of that.
Definitely a big pause, bro. I don't know. You would snatch it. He's a manhood snatcher. This nigga Adam Wild. Pause.
You see how he did you, bro? Yeah, he's sex playing. Crazy.
That was not. I was trying to stop you from sex playing him. I was trying to defend Lush's booty hole.
He's defending my butthole.
Our top story this morning, an ongoing investigation. A pair of gun-toting robbers remain at large this morning after a brazen heist.
That's right. It happened in broad daylight. Now, the 2 suspects made off with thousands of dollars from an armored truck parked outside of a Queens bank and even made off with a security guard's gun. Let's get right to Good Day's Robert Moses. He is live in St. Albans, Queens, with more on who police are looking for this morning. Robert, what can you tell us?
Tashani and Dan, this was a brazen armed robbery that took place just minutes before this Bank of America on Linden Boulevard was set to open yesterday.
What are you going to get?
There it is. That is Alice Donut. Stand back, everyone. Stand.
To look for those 2 suspects who they say stole hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of cash. Police tell us that the 2 suspects approached a driver as well as an armed guard who had pulled up to the bank on Linden Boulevard to do a cash drop. The suspects displayed guns, then stole cash from the truck, also took a gun from that 62-year-old armed guard, and then fled the scene in a black Chevy. They went westbound on Linden Boulevard. Neither Brinks employee was injured in this robbery, though it troubles former NYPD Detective Dave Sarney for any number of reasons.
This is something we haven't seen in a long time. This is going to be obviously highly investigated.
And Conyers left fighting for their homes. This comes after an ongoing battle to figure out where their mandate.
Have you ever confronted anybody about not getting your flowers? Or are you just to let the music and the work speak for itself type?
I let the work and the music speak for itself. I don't want to get into that mode where I start tripping.
Israel is at war with Iran. Israel started this war by launching a surprise attack on Iran on the 13th of June. And in the following days, Iran hit back, Israel attacked Iran again, and it escalated into a larger conflict. Now, the U.S. government is deeply involved in this war on Iran. U.S. President Donald Trump knew about all of the operations because the U.S. was helping Israel to plan and to carry out this attack. Israeli officials.
A Hendersonville business owner and his wife are alive tonight after a dramatic gun battle with an armed bandit inside the couple's shop. Welcome to News 2 at 4. I'm Tori Gessner.
And I'm Kendall Ashman. Andy Herdan joins us with a story you're seeing first on News 2. Andy.
Hey there, ladies. You know, according to Hendersonville police, once inside the store, the bandit, well, he didn't expect that the shop owner would be there and be armed.
Early Wednesday morning, a man now identified as Dylan Bryan smashes into the Cash Collectible store on West Main Street.
Of course, it sounds like explosions going off while he's getting in, and then he tiptoes around.
Where are you taking him? For what? For grocery shopping?
In the Spring Hill, Florida Walmart, that man being arrested is Tony Nagwin. His crime? Shopping while Asian. Moments earlier, Walmart protection specialist David Pettigrew mistakenly thought Nagwin was this man, Cody Vonderland.
There's an Asian male in the store right now. His name is Cody Vonderland. He is trespassed from the store. He is not allowed to be here, and he also tends to be violent.
What you're looking at is considered the most densely populated place that ever existed. On an area of just 6.5 acres, or 4 football fields, dozens of individual buildings have merged into one solid organism that houses shops, restaurants, churches, private homes, and virtually everything that makes a city. While the outside-facing apartments get to enjoy sunlight, a vast majority are located within this block, full of dark pathways. It is a giant urban maze that attracted all kinds of people with reasons.
That iron suit is the ultimate display of style. I want her to take it.
I need to get out of this. Yeah.
What you're looking at is considered the most densely populated place that ever existed. On an area of just 6.5 acres, or 4 football fields, dozens of individual buildings have merged into one solid organism that houses shops, restaurants, churches, private homes, and virtually everything that makes a city. While the outside-facing apartments get to enjoy sunlight, a vast majority are located within this block, full of dark pathways. It is a giant urban maze that attracted all kinds of people with reasons to hide. This is Kowloon Walled City. To understand just how incredibly closely packed people lived here, let's compare this city with other places. Take the East Village in New York City, located in Lower Manhattan. There's a small park in the center, but other than that, it is a pretty dense neighborhood with historic row houses and more recent large apartment buildings. Based on the 2010 US Census, just over 44,000 people live here. That results in a population density significantly higher than for all of New York City, and New York is the most densely populated city in the United States. By all means, this is a dense place. But let's compare it to Kowloon Walled City. In 1987, a survey estimated that 33,000 people live here. The density is simply astounding. And in reality, the number might have been even bigger, with some estimates going up to 50,000 people. Perhaps the strangest thing about Kowloon Walled City, however, is just how abruptly it ends. While everything is crammed into this tight block of buildings, behind the sharp walls of the city, there are relatively spaced out buildings, and even a park with sports fields. So why was everything crammed into this small block? The answer is that Kowloon Walled City wasn't part of the rest of Hong Kong, but had its own legal status. The walled city began as nothing more than a small Chinese military outpost, stationing about 10 guards. It really started to take shape more than a century later, when the outpost was expanded by the construction of a larger fort. At the same time, the nearby harbor of Canton began to gain importance. Chinese tea was a hot commodity for British traders, who purchased it in staggering volumes, allowing this region to prosper. However, the trade relationship was notably unbalanced. While the British bought large quantities of tea, the Chinese had little need for goods from Europe. To improve this trade balance, the British began to illegally import opium from India to China. This scheme proved effective, with the widespread consumption of the drug escalating rapidly. This led to an addiction epidemic, which wreaked havoc on the Chinese economy. Recognizing this crisis, the imperial government took decisive action to halt the opium trade. But this move led to a heated conflict, which would later be known as the First Opium War between Great Britain and the Chinese Empire. Britain won the war and subsequently occupied Hong Kong in 1841. The walled city was not affected, as it was located on the island nearby. And as a result of this loss, the Chinese Empire decided to reinforce the fort in Kowloon by building large walls around it, giving the area its lasting name, Kowloon Walled City. At the heart of this fortress, they built a yamen, which is the main office from which this outpost is administered. The tensions between China and Britain continued on, ultimately leading to the Second Opium War in 1860. As a result, the Kowloon Peninsula too fell into British hands. And the final boundary negotiation took place in 1898, resulting in a 99-year lease of the new territories to Britain. This is, in short, the story of how Hong Kong became a British colony as it is commonly known. But what is often overlooked is that the convention included one specific exception: the Kowloon Walled City, which is located inside the new territories, a Chinese enclave in the middle of British Hong Kong. As time moved on, both the Chinese and the British administrations showed a lack of interest in the walled city, leaving it to its own fate. The desolate barracks soon became makeshift homes for squatters seeking refuge. And recognizing the need for community structures, a Protestant church seized the opportunity to establish a senior home within the historic Yamen. But the peaceful existence of this enclave was shattered in 1937, when war erupted between Japan and China. The full-scale invasion initiated by Japan emerged as the central conflict in the Pacific throughout World War II. And by 1942, Japan had taken control of vast swaths of northern China, as well as holding various coastal exclaves, one of them being Hong Kong, which they utilized as a strategic military base.
Now at Wawa, try a toasty, melty, delicious breakfast or lunch panini. Gotta have a Wawa.
If you play video games a lot, you might be able to get paid some real money. If you live in the US and you play video games for over 10 hours in a week, anytime in the last 5 years, you might be eligible to get you some money. There's a lawsuit currently in development for video game addiction, and you actually might be eligible to receive compensation for your gaming habits. All you have to do is check your eligibility at claimshero.io. You can literally just Google Claims Hero video game addiction and it should pop right up. It's real, but it's only for US based gamers, and it only takes like a minute out of your time, so don't be lazy and miss out.
What you're looking at is which is located inside the New Territories, a Chinese enclave in the middle of British Hong Kong. The Japanese expanded the local Kai Tak airport, and to do so they needed building materials. Therefore, they tore down the walls of Kowloon Walled City, which was located right near the airport. The end of the Second World War saw Hong Kong revert to British control. Simultaneously, the newly founded People's Republic of China in 1949 reasserted its right over the Kowloon Walled City. Practically, however, neither the Chinese nor the British took control of this area. And with a massive wave of refugees in the wake of the Chinese Civil War, the need for cheap living space in Hong Kong was immense. And so, in the decades that followed, a maze of buildings grew ever higher and denser. Single houses became multi-story buildings, became 14-story skyscrapers. The sunlit streets turned into shaded paths until they were eventually completely blocked from sunlight. Within the confines of the walled city, the laws of Hong Kong were not enforced. Any construction within the city proceeded without adhering to any building codes, with one singular exception. Due to the city's close proximity to Kai Tak Airport, a strict height limit of 14 stories was enforced. Kowloon Walled City was located right along the path into the airport. Landings at Kai Tak were one of a kind, with pilots navigating through Hong Kong's mountainous terrain, flying remarkably close to the walled city on final approach. The highest priced apartments were those facing the outside, followed by those near the internal courtyard. These units offered the precious commodity of sunlight and fresh air. You could add a caged balcony to your apartment, cleverly expanding your living space. But most of the units were located inside, in extremely unhealthy conditions. This is a plan for a typical building inside the city. With no windows, people here were completely dependent on electric light. There also was no waste management in place, which led to catastrophic air quality. Frequently, rubbish was simply disposed on one of the city's rooftops or thrown into one of the shafts between buildings. The air is said to have been constantly stuffy and polluted by the many factories that operated inside the city. As for clean water, a mere 6 official water stations served the entire city, which means residents often had to carry the water over long distances. In terms of electricity, few actually paid for the service. Instead, most residents opted to illegally tap into external cables, routing them through the city's intricate maze of narrow passageways. These harsh living conditions attracted not just those looking for a cheap place to live. The city's ambiguous legal status also attracted those who saw potential for unique business opportunities within its shadowy confines. The walled city became a popular hub for dentists. Many of those had obtained their qualifications in mainland China, but found their licenses unrecognized in British-governed Hong Kong. This rendered them unable to legally practice elsewhere in the city. The absence of regulatory oversight also allowed various workshops, such as those specializing in metal fabrication, to flourish within the city. and kitchens were selling popular food items that were outlawed in the rest of Hong Kong, such as dog meat. Generally, food production was a common business inside the city, despite the completely unsanitary conditions. It is even said that many of the delicacies processed here over the day ended up on the plates of expensive restaurants across Hong Kong later in the night. While these kinds of businesses within the walled city skirted the edge of legality, others plunged straight into the realms of serious criminal activity.
Is there a little man in there? Hi guys! If you're new...
Just because this city is free from the laws of Hong Kong did not mean it was a space without order. Power structures still exist with the triads, notorious criminal gangs, controlling the city. While businesses did not pay taxes, many of them were forced to pay protection money to these groups. And the triads themselves engaged in illegal businesses, such as soliciting prostitution, opium dens, and in the later years venturing into heroin trafficking. The Hong Kong authorities found themselves in a difficult position, not wanting to let the growing addiction problem get out of hand. A permanent police presence inside the city would be an affront to China, which still claims the territory as its own. Therefore, in the mid-1970s, the authorities decided to carry out many isolated raids, with police officers storming the city for short periods of time, arresting criminals, confiscating drugs, and then leaving again. In addition, various private aid organizations established themselves, operating a kindergarten as well as a Christian missionary youth center that offers help with addiction. The historic Yamen in the middle of the city became a popular social spot, hosting public events for the city's residents. Even though the situation in the city improved in parts, it was again geopolitical reasons that ultimately ushered in the final chapter of the city. Its legal status was a result of the 99-year lease of the surrounding new territories, and it is precisely that countdown that was coming to an end. In 1984, after years of negotiations, Great Britain and China agreed on a handover of all of Hong Kong back to China. This handover was scheduled to take place in 1997, but the breakthrough in negotiations also cleared up the dispute regarding Kowloon Walled City. Despite massive resistance from the city's residents, the two governments jointly decided that the social situation, the risk of fire breaking out, as well as the fear of any of the buildings collapsing, would justify the complete evacuation and demolition of the city. With the start of the demolition in 1993, Kowloon Walled City came to an end. But as the city fades into memory, two diametrically opposed ideas of its existence emerge. The dystopian image of the city inspired a large number of fictional depictions in film and art, often showcasing Kowloon Walled City as a futuristic hotbed of crime and corruption. As such, the city inspired tons of dystopian fantasies. However, what gets lost here is that this city was also a vibrant, tightly knit community. As chaotic as the city may appear from the outside, there was actually a lot of order. And the notion of complete chaos is simply wrong. You could send a letter to someone living inside the city, and despite the apparent chaos, it would get delivered just fine. People came here with nothing. They then raised children, established businesses, and then had to self-organize those aspects of city life that the lack of government had left out. To many, Kowloon Walled City is a symbol of Hong Kong, showing that hardworking people were able to create community even despite harsh conditions. Today, on the side of the walled city, there is a park where remains of the historical city can be found in several places, such as the historic Yamen building still standing. as well as a small model remembering the urban monolith that once stood here. It's easy to vilify, and it's just as easy to romanticize a place like this. Ultimately, the answer might lie somewhere in the middle. The story of Kowloon Walled City is one I've been meaning to tell for a long time, because it's a story that explores the intersections of architecture, history, and culture. Looking at changes of urban places throughout the decades, I think, can be incredibly insightful to understand the world we live in. One of my favorite videos I did that explores exactly these intersections is my video about the construction of the original Twin Towers, in which I explain how these buildings completely changed how skyscrapers are built. This video is part of my ongoing video series Underexposure, which also features videos about the raid on Bin Laden's compound in 2011, as well as a video about the Tenerife disaster, which was the worst aviation accident that ever occurred. These are videos that are not made for the YouTube algorithm. Instead, this series is made for the big screen. A series where I fully, creatively tell stories just how I want to. And the reason all this is possible is because me and a bunch of creators have gotten together to build our very own streaming site, and it's called Nebula. The idea is simple. Since Nebula is not an ad-driven platform like YouTube, but a subscription model, we get to create higher budget productions. Some of my favorite shows across the board are on Nebula. They're entertaining, but since we mostly are educational creators, there's also just so much to learn at the same time. And I am immensely proud of what my original series has become. So go to nebula.tv/neo and make sure you use that link so that you get 40% off on an annual plan. All my exclusive videos are up there, so thanks for the support, and thanks so much for watching this video.
What the hell are those?
Spinosaurs.
Got safety protocols? Grainger has the safety pros to call. Shop our vast inventory of safety products at Grainger.com. Call, click, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This week on Vice, we go to North Korea. It's changing. Now, no one knows where it's going, but we'll be there covering the news, So we're about to play a quick pickup game. Super casual, but relaxed.
This is the world of power. This is the world of Vice.
We here at Vice have been fascinated by North Korea for a long time. In fact, we've done 3 documentaries about the Hermit Kingdom, all of which have been harshly critical of the regime. You have to go to the house of the people, the library of the people. You have to see the soccer team. But the one thing that we didn't do was meet any of the actual people of North Korea. It's not very busy here. For that reason, I'm personally never allowed to go back to the DPRK. But we wanted to get inside the country again to see firsthand how it's faring under its new, very young, and very mysterious leader, Kim Jong-un. But one of the biggest challenges in dealing with North Korea on any level is that we have virtually no diplomatic relations with them. In fact, over the past 65 plus years, only a handful of Americans have ever met the country's leaders. The most prominent of which was Secretary of State Madeleine Albright during a visit to the country when she brought Kim Jong-il a basketball signed by Michael Jordan. Now, she did this because, despite his public disdain for America, Kim Jong-il privately loved the Chicago Bulls. His passion for the 90s era Bulls was passed on to his son, Kim Jong-un. And banking on the dynasty's inherent love for basketball, we worked through official and back channels to propose a goodwill game of basketball with North Korea's national team. If they accepted, we would bring 3 members of the Harlem Globetrotters, who are the most natural ambassadors of goodwill in the game, and a real-life Chicago Bull. And much to our surprise, it worked. The DPRK actually invited our delegates to come to North Korea and participate in a very, very rare, quote-unquote, foreign sports exchange program. The timing, however, turned out to be very tricky, because in December of 2012, North Korea launched the Kwangmyeong-sung 3 satellite into the Earth's orbit, stirring fears that the country's missile program could soon be advanced enough to carry a nuclear weapon as far as the United States. And just so we didn't forget exactly what these missiles would be carrying, they conducted a 3rd nuclear test to make sure we got the message. This, of course, set the international community on edge. So, in the midst of heightened tensions and heated rhetoric, we headed to Pyongyang to see if we could actually engage with the North Koreans through the cultural vehicle of basketball.
The second you land in North Korea, you realize you're no longer in control of anything.
Complicated meeting, so we have to.
The motor swinging. Government minders direct your every step. You're told where to go, what to do, and most importantly, what to film. And as other Westerners have found out the hard way, if you flaunt these restrictions, you could wind up in North Korean jail, one of the worst places on earth. Since our instincts are usually to shoot the exact opposite of what people want us to, I was more than a bit freaked out. Having the Harlem Globetrotters along with us on this trip was extremely comforting, because they were some of the most positive guys we'd ever met.
Hey, buddy!
And I needed that comfort pretty much right away, because as soon as we entered the hotel lobby, we were welcomed by a banner celebrating the recent nuclear test. At first, we thought the banner might have been put there for us. But when I opened up the curtains for my first look at Pyongyang, I saw a long line of buses leaving the hotel. And then, I turned on the TV.
시청자 여러분, 여기는 수도 평양의 창전거리입니다. 오늘 평양에 도착한 제3차 지하핵 시험 성공에 공헌한 정영희의 경이적인 성과는 위대한 대원 스님들과 우리 당의 현명한 용도가 나온 빛나는 결실이며 이번에 제3차 지하핵 시험 성공은 백산 대국의 이력을 힘있게 가지한 두 이윤자들을 볼 때 막 달려나가서 울싸안고 춤을 추고 싶은 생각입니다.
Nuclear scientists from the February 12th test, they're staying at this hotel right now. They were brought here by way of kind of reward, some sort of celebration by the leader. So they're staying here at the same hotel with us, unsettling.
So we weren't even there for a few hours, and this
international nuclear controversy with huge geopolitical ramifications was playing out in our hotel lobby.
He just always has to hold that out for practice.
From the start, we were under very close supervision. They were watching us and what we were shooting at all times.
Every day has a schedule, and we have a lot of minders whose full-time jobs it is to make sure that we stay on the schedule. So, army of people.
Listen, I'm saying that your girl, who dropped it off to him? Because he probably dropped the girl off some dick.
Listen, bro. I gave my artist before I got locked up. We got nothing changed. This don't stop. So when I come home anyway, because look like he told me, you been too much like that smoking hookah.
No, fuck Lil Mike. Look, how you talking Lil Mike in your eye? Fuck Lil Mike. Lil Mike, let me tell you. Listen, so me and Lil Mike, we go to Chicago. I go to Chicago. I link with her. I call. I give her $5 for an interview. We do the interview. You know?
Hello. Hey. Alright, how you doing? Yeah, I'll lay down. I'm waiting now. What happened this time?
Well, live look now at the sky.
The top of it, top of it. Salute to everybody. Make sure.
What?
Eddie Curry's family. Back in
The search is continuing today for a
Who put this in the bathroom?
Oh yeah, they tripping. Mm-hmm. Damn. What? Yeah, she just retarded.
The turkey leg hut. They went from. Why did no one tell Florida drivers about this new rule? If you are currently insured, drive less than 60 miles a day.
Yeah, shit. But you know, she like miserable and shit, so like, what you expect from a person that's miserable?
There were long lines, long waits, and then came the lawsuits, the criminal accusations, and the marital strife. So here's a look at the rise and fall of the turkey leg hut. The turkey leg hut became a Houston staple. People will travel from all across the country to come to Houston to get a taste, and then wait in long lines for hours, even in the Texas heat, to get a chance to grub on one of its 13 different turkey legs.
In Houston, we know how to eat. We were the fattest damn city for a while. I preferred pleasantly plump or big bone city. But even in a place overrun with places to eat, the Turkey Leg Hut is easily one of the most popular. Their doors have only been open about a year and a half, and already they're a staple in Houston. People willing to wait for freaking hours to get in. While I ain't got that kind of patience to wait, others do.
Yeah, she fucking weird, bro.
I went to see what all the hype was about and check it out.
Now, I've been here twice before, but I've never actually tasted the turkey leg. I had your pasta. So why did you decide to pick turkey legs to sell?
You know what? I think turkey legs chose us. We started during rodeo season. Of course, rodeo food is turkey legs. And then the way we prepared our turkey legs became a big social media buzz. And we had people from everywhere coming to see what was
beer. The drinks are really good. So all around good place.
Are you ever amazed at the business that you've been able to create?
Every day. We are truly amazed when we walk past, or when we drive past and we see the line. It's a blessing. And something, you know, it's kind of surreal to know that that's something that we created and people come from all over to taste what we created.
What got you in the door?
She got knockoff
They told me the
stuff.
food is great, and I want to try the Cajun crawfish mac and cheese.
London is now home to more more billionaires than any other city on the planet.
It is home. It's London.
That's right.
That's why I said pay your bets, man. Who you talking about?
Following some breaking news right now in Orange County, the sheriff's office just released some new video from a deputy-involved shooting from earlier this month.
In this video, you'll see the suspect get into a fight with the deputy before shots are fired. And Fox 35's Marlisa Goldsmith joins us live in studio. So, Marlisa, walk us through what happened here.
Well, John and Luann, the deputy and the suspect, 24-year-old Charles St. Fleur, were caught on...
Imagine a place where the groom isn't a...
Yeah, that's crazy though. That bitch is weird. And like, for you to call me, I know you guys are going through it.
The Roman Empire
Like, you don't
is
know
on the
what
brink
else
of
to do.
collapse,
I don't know what
and
to
the
tell you.
Huns have just
'Cause I
launched
don't
an
talk
attack
about
on
that.
northern Italy. Several cities are completely destroyed, forcing the locals to go on the run. They head for a lagoon just off the coast and take refuge on several small islands, a decision that would no doubt save their lives. Against all odds, this small
Japan is having fewer babies than ever before.
Don't he have herpes? But she was fucking on Leon too. Don't Leon got herpes? Damn.
This salt is known as the dinosaur egg, and it's one of the rarest in the world. Only a few families on a small island in the Philippines still make it. It takes 8 hours of non-stop cooking to transform seawater brine into this artisanal salt called asin tibuok.
That's crazy. Yeah, because she's doing too much. That's weirdos. Yeah, they just weird.
So there's this running joke that
I know.
by now,
Oh yeah. That's where you going. She said, I'm going to Atlanta. Yep. Mm-hmm.
The top of it, top of it.
Oh shit.
Well, the search is continuing today for a 10-year-old girl who was lost.
You sure? I think they all got the same transcripts. They don't.
This year,
Oh shit. So what you saying? Some kids they be in the same grade, but some are dumber somewhere else than the other ones. Damn. Yeah, that's crazy. Uh-huh. Oh.
Oh God, so I peeped the tow truck right
Mm-hmm.
before it's gonna whoop in the traffic. I instantly hit this little cut, dipped between the back of the building, tried to hop the gate. Nay, found an opening right next
Yep.
to it. Hey, we through here. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm.
Oh, the curriculum. The curriculum was different. So
She finished telling me everything. She held no punches.
yeah,
Kept a warm heart and open mind, and she told me her story. I didn't cast any aspersions or hold judgment. So what I decided to do was tell her peace of mind. The present's great, the future's bright. One thing you can't take away from me.
The islands that lie between Asia and
that's what's
Australia.
up. Shit.
The Ladybird Lake deaths have caught people's attention with speculation surrounding the pod.
Douglas was interested in going in the streets of Harlem while other kids were out playing tag. This dude was out here taking
Damn right.
He was grinding.
HVAC. He can go live in the middle of America, in the middle of nowhere, and do that and be a millionaire. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Damn. Mm-hmm. That's right. Shit. Damn, that's crazy as hell though. She's so fucking weird, bro. Like, I can't tell you what for ass, cause then you go to jail. I know she won't press charges. Yeah, you already know what time it is. What? Oh yeah, she weird.
We over here at 3, 2, 1, Sierra, Hotel Indigo, Victor, Echo, Romeo, Street. That's Shiva. Yeah, this is me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like she texted me the other day talking about what was it? What she tell me? Oh, happy Father's Day. I'm like, bitch, get the fuck out of my face. Like, you ain't bearing no gifts. I ain't got no rap. So like, so I ain't even text her back, right? So she gonna text me back later talking about I said happy Father's Day. I'm like, oh, thank you. She like, what you doing today? Working? Leave me the fuck alone. Oh, she was telling me she ready to go work at the hospital. I swear to God. Oh, she be doing too much. Oh, you still on the class? It's a wrap. Mm-hmm. Damn. God don't like ugly. You know he don't like ugly.
The home equity agreement from Unlock to access the equity in my home. That cash allowed me to pay off my debt and bills.
Yeah, God don't like ugly.
Get started today.
Everybody act like they, like, you know what I'm saying? They try to put over for the internet. Alright, man, stop. Shit. That's why I be like, man, some people be so weirded out. So don't you? I be like, man, that's why I just stay to my fucking self. Shit. Mm-hmm. And plus, I had to learn, like, yo, you don't got to be weird to nice people. You gotta be weird to them hoes. Like, them bitches that ain't shit, they get suspicious when you nice. You know what I'm saying? Like a woman, she ain't gonna take it the wrong way you being nice. She feel like that's the way she should be treated. The way the fuck she treats you, and you know if a woman treats you good or not. That shit, it ain't that many of them out there. When they go for you for real. Shit. And she ain't ready to stick around when you do some fuck shit. Yeah, that's the real shit. I had to realize for myself, like, a woman ain't sticking around when she do a bunch of fuck shit. Hell no. A hoe, now she gonna hold it. She gonna stay out for a minute. Cause she gonna like, damn. She gonna think you might get over it. You might grow out of your behavior or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But a real woman, she ain't got time for that. Just like a man. Man ain't gonna wait for you to get yourself together if you doing some bullshit that they don't like. They just gonna keep moving on. Now, a fuck nigga is gonna stay for the benefits. You know what I'm saying? Because he feel like ain't nothing else for him out there. Like, yo, they can't handle life on their own terms. That's why, like, shit. That's why I'm glad that I got, like, a little bit of, like the transformation that I had got and shit. Like, so I can actually pay attention, like, yo, what's good for me and what's not good for me. Shit. God, stay on it, boy, I tell you. Alright, like, peace. I'm thinking with you. But, Lee J, I'll go with you.
My city was named Chromium. It had a halo. But it was full of devils. I could soar through the cosmos, gathering light from my city. But there was always someone who wanted to destroy me. Just because I could fly. My arch enemy, Cleo Ventruk. On that day, she was gonna destroy the city. Kill everyone, annihilate all flesh. She called it the Void Machine. I stopped her. But it was the last thing I ever did. I punched through the molecules to create a vortex. I detonated it in the silence between space and time. And I grabbed onto any reality that I could. This one. I smashed my way to this bullshit reality to save Chromium.
You saved the fucking world.
That one anyway.
You still got them superpowers?
The power to drink a fifth of whiskey and not pay for it.
Pay for my drink.
He gets the story.
I sure do.
How about another one? The Chromium.
See you soon. I'll be in.
Show me the watches, bro.
Come on, dog. Back up, bro. I'm not fucking around hamsters, bro. Don't call me a thug first. Hamster, back up, bro.
It's gonna go crazy on Central, son.
Come on, bro.
What you selling?
Get out of my...
What you selling? Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Sorry.
You broke my phone. Everybody buying your shit anyways, man.
Buying my shit? You tripping. What you talking about?
Hey, Melissa, it's Hamster. I want to do stories for you guys.
Look, I have a lot of creators. Everyone's a creator now.
You don't have anyone here who's from my world?
Where are you from?
I'm from Crazy Town. I'm from the streets. I can show you Hamster's world.
Hamster's world.
Yeah.
All right. All right, show me.
Easy. Check this dude out.
Who's that?
It's a local drug dealer. I report on the grid. The human story from the inside.
This majestic bitch is 12 years old and she's already playing the pan flute. What else you got?
Okay, what else you want? I'm Hamster, Melissa. I can dig it up. I can make it happen. I mean, come on, look around you. Look at the damn cat with the... What is that? Laser cats? That shit ain't real. This is not the world in here.
I think Trendball's 15 million unique visitors per day would say otherwise. They're Hamster.
Oh, please. I can get you 15 million more viewers.
Really?
And I can show you the real city. Hamster City. Can you see it in your mind right now? You see it? Tell me, can you see it?
All right. We'll set you up with a temporary creator account. Show me something cool. And if it works, we'll hire you.
Really?
Really?
Really? Okay. Okay. Hey, look. See, now you're in Hamster's world now.
Okay.
I won't disappoint you. I promise. I will shake you up. Splash! Every story's coming to you. All right.
They playing bingo?
You know what? I'm not fucking stupid. Okay. I bet you can't have personal protection. Okay, maybe when I'm a mute barehanded killer like your crazy ass, I won't have to weaponize.
Indigo, my little blue raspberry.
How's business?
Business needs to get better. Here's what I'm thinking. I think we start dealing to the little ones. The preschoolers, the fucking Sippy cup crowd. They're old enough to download porn onto their iPads. Think they're old enough to get high? What do you say, huh? Throw on a little princess outfit, get on the corner? Fucking joking. Lighten up. Did I ever tell you that I wanted to be a musician when I was younger?
No.
No? Yeah. I wanted to be a singer, actually, yeah. I even got a gig once. Worked out 5 little songs. Puked after 2. Got paid $7. I figured there's got to be a better way to make a living. So now, when I want to hear people clap, I just say clap.
They can never say you didn't crack the code, huh?
Crack fucking skulls, too. You wanted to see me about something?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I make money for you now. Yes. But I want to make you even more money. I was thinking I can carve out larger parts of the neighborhood. I can oversee people.
Who you gonna oversee, huh? The fucking ice cream man?
They are slacking on those fucking blocks. They're just waiting for the money to fall from the sky, not me. See, I want to make it rain. You give me more blocks, I'll turn them around. We should be expanding. We should be going viral with it.
Viral?
Mm-hmm.
You want to go viral?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've always liked you. You work hard, fucking smart. I tell you what, I'd like to try you out on something. Now, you know, this may surprise you, but I've got a boss, too. And the boss likes to know that things run smoothly around here. I gotta make sure things are in tip-top shape. I want you to start with Jimmy Krieg. You know Jimmy Krieg?
Yeah, I've seen him around. He's a player or whatever.
Don't act all fucking blasé. I think you know as well as I do that Jimmy Krieg is a high roller and a fucking psychopath.
I didn't ask for a job at the Team Biscuit shop.
Go to Krieg. He's got money of mine, or at least he fucking better. You pick up the money, you bring it back to me, but I want him to trust you. And I want you to report back to me. Does he say anything weird?
I appreciate the opportunity.
I've always been good to you, right? To you and your family.
When your home gets bugs, the struggle is real. That's why you need Zevo, America's #1 trap. Zevo goes wherever bugs do, working 24/7 using blue and UV light to attract and trap flying insects with no odor and no mess. And even getting rid of the bugs you didn't know you had. For effortless protection everywhere in your home. Zevo, people friendly, bug deadly. To catch up to twice the bugs, try Zevo Max.
On a distant world, you faced the enemy. And all the while, you were vacuuming. Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen.
Ambition. When harnessed, it can change everything, turning oceans of data into waves of possibilities. And one day, the final frontier into our backyard. Unlock the promise of AI with HPE.
To you and your family.
Guess who's trending with newest star reporter? Yo,
making moves. Trying to get paid.
Don't make moves, okay? I make moves. You keep safe while I make them, okay?
Come on, man.
And you cracked your phone. Stop being so clumsy, kooky kid.
I know, okay? Look, just give it back.
Whoa,
It's okay.
whoa. Why are you sharing photos of drug dealers?
He's just my boy.
Can you imagine what would happen if this gets back to the manager?
It's just stories, Indy. I'm trying to put something out there. But you wouldn't know shit about that.
So you must think that I like this shit. Acting hard, dealing with these people. No. Listen to me. I'm trying to get you to college like Dad wanted, and then I'm out of this hell game.
I dropped out of high school. Now how you expect to put me into college?
Do you not watch the news? It's a fucking scam. You give them enough money, and they let your ass in.
You're getting college scam money?
Yeah.
This is my life.
Life ain't no crime reporter bullshit, because that's dangerous. A lot of people want to keep a low profile. I know I do.
A woman wants to keep a low profile, doesn't wear her hair that color.
I can't help that I'm a sugar plum fairy interstellar princess. That's who I am.
And this is who I am.
Dad was a storyteller. You remember that shit? He would come up with crazy stuff to tell us.
I wish I could remember.
He had this one ongoing saga about these two ravens that would fly around the world picking up tiny gold chains out of jewelry boxes because they were building a golden nest. Maybe that's where you get it from.
See? It's in our blood. We're fucking storytellers.
Okay, Shakespeare.
You just did it. Come on.
Whatever. I made you something. It's a recipe I cooked up because I love keeping my little brother alive.
Okay. That looks what is that?
Spirulina balls. Superfood. It'll keep you hype. Tell me I'm the best sister you ever had.
Cheers. Good doctor, you go.
I can see right through you.
Hey, yo, what the wall ever do to you, man? Bet it owes you money, huh? The wall is an asshole, man. Look, it deserves what it's coming to.
I used to punch holes through space-time.
Oh, really? Oh.
Hey!
Oh. Hey, I heard about you, man. You're the dude who says he's from another planet. You got superpowers, right?
It's not a planet, it's a city.
Yeah, I seen you around. You say you can fly. Hey, come on, I just want to hear your story. I'm a writer. Listen, man, the people want to know. Hey, man. Hey. Get off the street. Are you still alive? Oh, no. Oh, come on, man. I was trying to get you off the street. These discs are gonna run over your head. No bueno. Are you gonna be okay? When you get you to the hospital.
They don't understand my biology.
You gotta drink this. Dehydrate. Max Fist.
Hamster City's Cosmic Crusader. We don't know what he's fighting, but we know he's lit. On the streets, on the rooftops, Fist is fire. Hamster City heroes. Splash!
Oh yeah. This movie ain't even that good. I don't watch this shit. I need 1,000 views today, yo. I've been on here forever. I'll be on here all day. So make sure you tap in, like, share, subscribe. I'll be on here all day.
Who the fuck are you? I found you, man. I brought you some stuff, man. Check it out. Got some coffee, some beer.
What's up, nigga?
Oh, you like beer? Hey, I paid for that.
Man, I seen you on I seen you on Instagram yesterday talk about, oh yeah, Happy Father's Day, even if you is a deadbeat. Cause if it wasn't for you busting that nut, them little bastards would be here. Some shit like that. I'm like, man, this nigga don't know how to act. Yeah, yo.
You know, I used to sit on top of the highest buildings in Chromium, thousands of feet up.
I'm gonna be on here every day, all day. Trying to get my subscribers up. I gotta get my subscribers up some more.
Terror to pull me in.
That's what I'm ready to do. I'm ready to get my subscribers up.
Crush myself against the earth with one long twitch.
I'm on work today.
From you?
So I ain't doing shit.
So that's where you're from?
Here, in the room. I ain't doing nothing but watching movies.
I bring it to life. Hey, you ever heard of Hunter Thompson?
I don't think we had one of him.
He fully dove into the worlds that he wrote about. I mean, he was crazier than the craziest he was profiling. Gonzo.
Yeah, we had a guy like that. The Spider. He
Yeah,
can
my
beam
shit,
crime
man.
scene investigation reports straight into your brain.
That's what I'm talking about. That's splash-worthy.
Splash-worthy?
Yeah.
Did it touch home?
Tell you what, give me
Hell
something
no.
to eat, some whiskey.
The busting a nut
Bring it
part.
to life for you.
Yeah, that shit touched home.
My arch enemy, Cleopatra.
But nah,
She had
you know I'm a
doomsday
dad for real.
device. All the poison.
All the fucking kids I got.
It was gonna kill everybody. And so I did the only thing that I felt was possible, which do you know anything
I'm a
about string theory?
stepdad too. I'm a stepdad.
Okay.
I'm a real dad and I'm a stepdad. I'm a dad
Alright, look,
both
do you
times. You know
have
how
any
hard that is to do?
superpowers at all?
This shit ain't easy.
Anybody that does.
Shit.
Look, kid.
Stepdad,
The
you can
source of my
stepdad the way
power
the fuck
doesn't
you feel like
exist
it.
here.
You got
It's
real
not like
dad every
it's,
day.
like a billion
Yeah,
miles
that shit
away.
wrong. Real dad.
It's imaginary. The square root of -1.
That's
Fucking
it.
impossible.
Wait, imaginary like it's not
Stepdad, you
real?
just be like, I mean, like, you know.
Not real here. You understand me?
I know I done said that
He
shit
could
before.
fly,
That's
he
what
could
I'm
punch,
mad
he
at.
could shoot elephants out his ass.
This the least
Why
I
you
can
gotta
do.
feel the
You
kid's
know
head
me,
with
kid.
bullshit?
Come on, man. Look, just keep his fucking last fit. So you were super strong, but what could hurt you?
They had to invent things to hurt me. Solar guns, intelligent asteroids, big fucking killer robots, whatever Cleo could come up with. Even the whiskey's weaker here. That's why I drink so much of it.
Space whiskey. So were you always like that, or?
Started out normal. I worked for a task force that managed the cosmic blood. It monitored cosmic events, threats we didn't know how to handle.
Because of supervillains?
Say super one more fucking time.
Oh, okay, but that's what you mean, right?
No. You have to understand about the cosmic blood. See, it was just starting to leak in at that point.
What does cosmic blood even mean? What does that mean?
It's the difference between chromium and this shithole. The cosmic blood. It came from something called the cosmic source, which is a black hole the size of 12 billion suns hovering on the edge of my universe. It started making people weird.
Weird?
I fucking don't understand. This place, your gravity, your dirty atmosphere, it's added 15 years to my body. Imagine what it's like to wake up one day and just be old.